It was my first time ever taking like an industry meeting. I thought it was a Zoom call. So I took mushrooms. I don't know why I did this. I think it was like self-destructive or something. So I get an Uber to the giant building in like Culver City. And I sit down at this big marble table with these like agents. And I am out of my mind. I'm like feeling the table. It's like a big marble table. And anytime there's a break in conversation when I'm supposed to talk, I just go, God, this is such a nice table. You guys.
So, this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is bad.
To drag out horse.
No. 46 degrees outside.
I know.
Very
It
cold.
sucks.
I said the same thing.
Negativity.
I was. Whoa, Jimmy, no, we can't handle that. Oh, wait.
I know
Okay, wait.
negativity.
So when Jimmy's negative, we're all supposed to just deal with it. But when you're negative, we're just gonna be okay.
What does that even mean?
Remember the show, the pre-show?
The pre-show? What about that?
You were very negative.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, we had to bully you into being positive.
No, I was never negative.
No. In fact, there was a whole conversation where we said you're being very negative.
Actually, I mean, I'm really worried about your memories.
It was right before the.
No, I remember I
candy.
remember before the show, and I was like, I'm feeling really great.
Yeah.
Do you not?
Yeah.
You guys not remember me feeling really good?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember that.
No.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
certainly
I
wasn't
would probably
coming out
go.
of your
If I was
mouth.
you two, I'd probably go to the doctor.
Yeah, well, we can because both have health insurance, right? Right,
Yeah,
Colton?
but he won't because he's a full-blown Republican now. Also, there's something.
Yeah, you're right. I don't
there's-
like the doctor.
There's some. I told my sister that. I go, yeah. Jimmy told me that he's not going to the dentist anymore either. She goes, me neither. And I was like, damn, you and Jimmy are just syncing up.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah.
I love that hippie and Republican is like going like this now.
Oh, it's like the same thing now. Yeah.
Like if you think about like a conservative in like the 60s, they were like, no one do anything. And like the hippies were more on the left. I feel like it's just flipped. Now the Republicans are just like hippies. You think with their long fucking mullets and their degenerate lifestyle.
I'll tell you, I went a little. I was going. I think something needs to be done with me because yesterday I got in an argument with this woman on Goodreads.
Wait, are you suggesting therapy
You're
for
getting in
yourself?
arguments on Goodreads?
on Goodreads, dude?
Jimmy, that's like not okay. We can't have our producer getting into fights on Goodreads. That's humiliating.
Wait, we get canceled because you said something.
Yeah,
in
I'm like,
Goodreads?
oh my god.
No, I
and we
didn't-
look over, it's just on Goodreads. Jimmy's like, you stupid fat bitch. I'm like, wait, Jimmy, you're on Goodreads.
I was talking about the character in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was asking for it. I'll tell you.
Okay,
What
don't
book?
say that
That's
sentence.
not what
No,
you
we
want.
don't say things like that on this podcast.
I gave her a piece of my mind.
Wait, what book? The Bible.
Casey Means is good energy.
Oh.
What is that book about?
It's the Republican diet one that my sister's all about.
Wait, there's a Republican diet book?
Yeah.
What's
It's like don't drink Diet Coke. It's all bullshit.
It's like you heard RFK.
That's the most homophobic thing I've ever heard, actually.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's like it's all the RFK stuff. You've heard about it. I mean, a lot of it is pretty good shit.
Right.
But the only people, for some reason, it got politicized.
Can I ask you a question?
For some reason, health got politicized.
Very much so.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Is RFK all about the nutritious food stuff because he has that worm in his brain? He got it from food.
No.
Well, the worm wants nutrition, so the worm is telling him. See, his whole thing, if you look at it from a worm's perspective, it is perfect because the chemicals in Diet Coke do kill worms.
Yeah, that.
So the worm is just like, it's pretty soon it's going to be like, there's actually an amount of dirt that's very healthy.
I thought you were doing the worm's voice. I could see you're doing.
Yeah, well, the worm's
RFK.
voice, that's the thing. That's why his voice is like
This
that.
is just
This
Oh my God, it's not
actually
even
how
his
the
voice.
worm-
It's-
No.
this
It's
is an
like,
evil version of Ratatouille.
It's
why
like
he's always
Timmy
sucking
Turner
in.
with the boil talking to them.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm really excited to have you today. And we don't
Oh,
ever
right.
start the show. This is the show, so we're doing it already.
Great,
Show's
we're
already
doing it.
happening.
One, you look exactly like my cousin. I didn't realize
No
that
shit.
until right now.
And that's
but
really horny
he's
for us.
fat and a loser.
Someone just told me yesterday that I would look good as a fat person, and that's like maybe the best compliment I've ever gotten.
That's a hot guy
I think
compliment.
that's really nice.
Because there's a lot of hot guys that don't realize they gain 100 pounds. It's
It's
over.
gone.
It's over
for
It's
them.
over for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what it means is you have a nice face. And
I
so whatever is
appreciate it,
happening here, I'm still in.
Great.
Now,
Great.
was this a friend that told you that?
No, just literally someone I think I've had 2 conversations with outside. This is the great thing about Austin. Everyone is drinking so much that you're just hearing stuff left and right that's very funny.
Yeah.
And I think he was like many drinks deep, and I saw him out back after my 2 shows last night, and he was just like we said hi, like I knew him from shows, and then he was like, you look great as a fat guy. Awesome.
I feel like there's some feeders in Austin too.
Yeah, he might have been a feeder.
He might have been a feeder.
Hey, respect.
Are you getting a lot of gay guys at your shows?
Just to see me, I mean, I think a normal amount.
What's a normal amount?
What's a normal amount?
Like at least like 75% of all audience. Just like average amount of gay guys.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think so. Especially like I play good in like bigger cities, so I think like the audiences kind of skew more gay there. But like I think like an average, like maybe I don't know what the
I feel
percentage
like
would be.
lesbians would like you.
That yeah,
They'd be like, this is a straight guy we can trust.
I'll say this
Wait, you're straight, right?
I am, and
he was apologizing for that last night.
Oh, you don't
well,
apologize.
I feel like not necessarily apologizing. I feel like it's good to do this podcast because I owe you guys the culture a lot of the stuff that I do, like having a mustache and lifting weights.
But
I feel like that's very your
yeah.
thing. So you guys deserve this.
After you said that, I went home and I thought, no, you're
don't
giving
think so?
more like if Freddie Mercury was in Brooks and Dunn. that's I was like,
what Brooks
Could
and
you
Dunn?
imagine?
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
Similar, I was pulling up as you were walking across the street, and I go, that looks like the lead from Almost Famous.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah,
That's
okay, well,
very nice.
don't throw away my compliment
I
with
just
somebody
heard
else.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's
Hey,
unoriginal what you said.
Yeah,
there.
I
and other people
don't
have
touch me.
said it. So thank you, I guess, for
Do you-
repeating something I've heard.
it
Yeah.
sounds like you come around and people are like, I gotta give him some kind of compliment.
Yeah.
And they just throw whatever they
Which is
think
very
at the time.
nice. Yeah. Hey, I love that. That is great for me. It's very good. It. I won't say it definitely doesn't cure my horrible self-esteem, but it helps a little
Really?
bit.
I love a good-looking guy with bad self-esteem.
Oh,
That's my
yeah.
favorite
But
dish.
just to let
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, he will tell you it doesn't exist.
Oh, self-esteem doesn't exist.
What do you mean?
Just
What?
your feelings in general, or maybe I'm projecting about the way he
Wait.
treats me.
Wait,
Do we need to talk a little bit?
No, don't talk about me.
I've been much more open to understanding that your life is really bad, and I've always said,
Look,
you
right,
go that
let me
far.
pause real quick. The way your hand is patting right now lets me know immediately that you are an abuser in this relationship. That sort
okay,
of like,
TikTok
you're
words. Don't call
taking
me
a
an
little-
abuser.
I
Okay,
think that was around before TikTok, to be fair.
okay, I want to
No,
say
the
this.
Chinese invented abuse.
All I said to Colton was that if I looked like him and I was depressed, I would go stand in a mirror and I'd be like, oh, everything's fine.
Oh, I have
No, you
such a funny
also-
story about that. I don't think I've ever shared this on a podcast.
Exclusive.
It's
Wait.
so incredibly
Mine's
embarrassing.
half of a sentence.
Yeah.
You also said, Colton, you don't have any friends. I'm your only good friend. I'm not your best friend, but I'm your good
We're
friend. And
best
then Jimmy
friends.
said, I'm here too. And then you went, oh,
forgot
yeah.
you were for a
and
second.
Jimmy.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Hey,
so,
wait, sorry, I just interrupted.
Just
We
one more
met.
half sentence?
Not
One
at
more half
all.
sentence. You're one of my best friends.
Thank you.
And I hope one day you have other ones. Let's keep going. I thought everybody was gonna laugh. Look at me. I
No,
apologize.
I'm looking at gaining more.
Oh, interesting.
He's in the market.
Honestly, he does hold too much of the shareholder percentage on my life.
But it's my own fault because I have a lot of my best friends are from high school. I'm still friends with all my friends from high school, and then I lived in other cities for a long time. You moved around. You didn't get a chance.
You're right.
to
And
do
so my
that.
siblings are my best friends, and he says also that makes me sad, but I don't think
No,
that's
I said
true.
that people whose siblings are their best friends, it means nobody else likes them.
Right.
Well,
Wait, you had something to say.
I did. We will go back to that.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff coming up right now, which I do like. I like this. I don't know who's holding who captive here, and I like that about a.
We
pair of
mutually
people.
agreed to
Yeah,
come.
yeah. It's great. I took
Whom?
way too much acid one time, and I was having like a full on freak out. It had never happened before. I was in Tucson, Arizona. I think I was somewhere in Arizona, and I was like full, and my buddy there was not equipped to handle it, so he just left, and I was freaking out in this Airbnb. And the thing that grounded me, this is one of the most vulnerable things I've shared, and you'll know why. I was like fully freaking out. I'm like, my life is a fucking lie. Like nothing I do matters. Every relationship I've ever had is fake. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, this is great. I was like, oh, you're fine, dude.
Yeah.
And then I felt great after that. It really did ground me. The vanity of it is so disgusting, but it really did help.
But is it vanity? Because life is easier when you're better better looking. It's people act like, oh, looks don't matter. Try being an ugly person for a day. Their life is awful.
Yeah.
My life used to be awful. I used to be a lot uglier.
Is that true?
Yeah.
He was fat.
I used to be.
Oh, that's true. Oh, wow.
He was. He was fat.
That's the first thing you said on the podcast. He was actually fat. All right, go on.
Yeah.
He used to be over 400 pounds.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow. And when did this change?
You know, who even knows if it did change?
Who even knows?
Yeah.
We'll
We do,
be back
It could
soon.
still be that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
a year ago,
Do you-
you could still see it on
Do
his
you ever
face.
keep like an old pair of fat jeans just to remind yourself?
No, because I'm mentally like, whenever I lose weight, I go like, I'll never gain it
Yeah,
back.
throw all
I'm
of it
burning
out.
it away. And then every couple of years, I'm like, oh, gotta go shopping.
I feel like a very important cultural icon got rid of the ability to be proud about holding up the old jeans.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I think
Yeah.
that's gone now, unfortunately.
Somebody guy just like, am I a predator?
Oh no! I gotta put the weight back on.
Have you done acid a lot?
A little bit, not a crazy amount, but like every 6 months or so. I would.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
love
that's
it.
a lot.
Is it? Yeah, and then I'll do mushrooms. If I have some, I do
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I
Same.
think I'm in need of
I've
a
never
good
done it.
acid trip.
I
I haven't done it in like 4 years.
I've never
It's
done
great.
it because
It's-
it's like
it
12
cha-
hours. Who has that time?
But you know what? No,
Time out. You've done ayahuasca.
But also,
yeah, but I had to block out a whole weekend.
people. Yeah, but
Interesting.
I want to say this too. People say this about acid. I don't have 12 hours. The intense trip of that part is like 5.5, 6 hours. The other 6 hours
That's a
is
work day.
What else? I mean, I always do it when I go camping or I'm outside for long periods of time. The other 6 hours is more of like, oh yeah, now we're diving into the emotional stuff. Like it's like split into two. It has always been for me.
And let me add something. You can also, as long as you're not driving, just if you got stuff to do, just go for it, dude.
Yeah.
I've done that before. I had a meeting. It was my first time ever taking like a industry meeting, and I forgot that I thought it was a Zoom call. So I took mushrooms because I was like, oh, they'll hit. I don't know why I did this. I think it was like self-destructive or something. But I take them being like, oh, well, they'll kick in after the Zoom call. And I get a call from the guy I'm meeting like, hey, like just when you park, just like make sure you go. And I was like, oh, it's in person. So I get an Uber to the giant building in like Culver City, and I sit down at this big marble table with these like agents, and I am out of my mind. I'm like feeling the table. It's like a big marble table, and anytime there's a break in conversation when I'm supposed to talk, I just go, God, this is such a nice table. You guys. This is an amazing. You guys, this is your table. Like it went like really bad. I feel like maybe it was a power move because they were like, oh, well, like great meeting you, and they called me afterwards. But as I was leaving, I was like, they're all like showing me out because they're doing this big display of like, this is our office.
Yeah.
And they're showing me out. As I'm going out, I'm like, wait, I hold everyone. It's 4 people. I hold everyone. I'm like, wait, I gotta get a picture of the table. So I have these pictures in my phone of just this big table. But it was good. So I say just go for it too.
Interesting.
That's
Don't worry about
definitely
not having the time.
self-destructive, by the
Yeah.
way. That's 100% self-destructive. Oh, I wonder if I should take drugs before the very important business meeting.
I toned it back
Yeah.
after that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're gonna ask me ideas, and I want to make sure I'm creative.
Yeah.
So, like, come up with 10 ideas right now. You're like, perfect.
Well, hopefully it was just a general meeting that means nothing.
It was a little more than that, but it wasn't the most.
What about the agent that picked out the table? It's like, dude, I fucking nailed
Oh
it
yeah,
on that
that's
one.
Yeah.
They're interior
I told you,
designer.
Gary, that fucking.
I think we got this guy.
I feel like if I was on mushrooms and I was at a marble table, like the urge to put my face on that marble would be
Yeah, the
just-
cold. Yeah.
There's just no possibility that I don't show up to the meeting. I'm going to be like, you guys, you'll never guess what I did. Like, I would immediately be like, I thought it was Zoom. I took a mushrooms. Like, there's no
they
way.
would like that, by the way. I
Yeah,
think.
I agree.
Those people like it when you're crazy more than you would think. They love a crazy person. They love a story.
Yeah.
That's why I feel that way.
They love a crazy artist.
Yes.
They don't want a crazy intern.
No.
Yeah, that's a bad intern.
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the more vulnerable, like in that way, they are like, we can really fucking use this guy.
Yeah.
Spit him out and just take him for all he's worth. He's an idiot. He'll probably sign the contract today.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I will.
If it's on that table, he will.
Have you ever been fat before?
I had an indented chest.
Oh my! It's not the same thing. He always tries to
Wait, and
relate.
you got it fixed.
Yeah, I did.
That's a crazy surgery.
I guess it's not the same thing because I was born that way.
And how do you feel about that?
I think that sometimes when everything goes really well in your life for your body, you try to relate to other people that have nothing to do with things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. And sometimes you do have to kind of go like, well, I'm just not going to take part in the
Discussion.
I'm just going to say, you know
it's
what?
kind of like when you go like, oh, I grew up really poor, and people are like, I get it, because sometimes at private school our lunch didn't come in on time, and you're like, yeah, that's not exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but do you do that too, Dylan?
What do you
Dylan
mean?
thinks being fat is the worst thing of all time.
It is.
So like someone
it
was
is
like,
tough.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, being fat, people act like this. Being fat's fun. It's not. Nobody
no.
likes being fat. And by the way, if you ever see me being fat again, it's a symptom of my food addiction. I'm spiraling out of control. I am not. I will never be someone who's like really fat and being like, and I'm in a really good place.
It's such a fun time.
No,
yeah.
I'm depressed. I ate an entire bag of Cheetos last night. Okay, I'm not in a good place right now. Okay.
yeah, but someone would be like to Dylan, they'd be like, yeah, my father used to beat me when I was a kid. And Dylan's like, I get it. I was fat. You know?
But yeah, no, I mean, I do. Or if they don't, like, if you tell a person who grew up rich, like, yeah, I grew up really poor, they'll be like, yeah, my fucking dude, my parents would yell at each other, and it's like, all right, we're not talking about that. right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It is
that
hard.
pretty funny.
It is hard when you're.
But also, I feel for
I was
Colton
gonna
because
do it
I think it must be hard to be so beautiful and also feel
To have
so unseen.
no adversity. Yeah, that is difficult.
Well, no, because up here there's something wrong,
Oh, good.
and so that's not. So it's the hidden sickness.
An invisible issue. Yes.
I mean, I'm here for you.
Don't touch me.
Your arms are so tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I go. How am I doing? I'm okay.
Those are some guns you got there.
Yeah.
Okay. We're lifting a lot, huh?
He looks like a Greek god.
A Greek god?
Yeah.
Thank you. I would hate to be. I was gonna pick a different culture.
Christian
but I
god. You look like a
decided
Christian
not to.
god.
Just the one.
He's got the best abs.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because he has 0% body fat.
Because he was so bulimic. I don't know if you know this about Jesus, but he
Jesus
was
was
he was
bulimic?
bulimic.
Did they talk about that?
Yeah,
He
and
learned it from Mary.
Yeah, and when
Okay.
Judas kissed him, Jesus tried tongue, but Judas was like, no.
Yeah.
He turned water into wine, and then the stuff he ate into throw up. Yeah.
yeah.
It was a beautiful man.
Yeah, he made everything about him. He was really toxic. Did you grow up in a trailer park?
No. Good upbringing. I had a lot of like learning disability stuff. That was
Do you have an
sped.
Me too. Do you have IEP?
I did have an IEP.
Me
I had an
too.
IEP all the,
the
way
Disability
through.
Sisters.
Yeah, and
Wait, what's IEP again?
It's basically when you need like a caretaker.
But what's the?
individualized education program.
Thank
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know what it said for.
Where are you from?
He really.
Hey, you were
needed-
deep in the program. Yeah. That's when you know.
I do Cheryl.
Massachusetts. Yeah.
I'm from Massachusetts. What part?
I'm from like do you know where like Marion is? I grew up in the town of Marion, but it's where like Wareham area, New Bedford
Oh
area.
yeah,
that
I'm from Western Mass. I'm from the Berkshires.
I did. That's where I started stand up in Western Mass.
Same with where?
Northampton.
Oh, my first ever open mic was in New Hampshire. In
Northampton. Wait, was it the third floor?
yes,
of
oh my
the-
God,
Wait, did we do the same? That was our.
Was that your first
It
open
was
mic?
Bishop's Lounge.
Bishop's Lounge was my first open mic ever.
That's so funny.
I signed up 17th because I had never been to an open mic before, and I didn't want to go up first. And I drank like 17 Long Island iced teas, and then I went on stage.
I'm getting chills by the way right now.
I have chills.
What year was this?
2015.
Was it Nick Karen or
Yeah,
Lauren Fado
it was-
Russo
it-
who was hosting?
Yes.
Nick Karen.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my
yes.
God, that's crazy.
This is incredible. That's so funny.
That's so funny.
That place was so good for me because like it's great because I can talk to you about it. When I had done maybe
And we're
like,
here too.
yeah, we're done with that.
Yeah.
So when I did like an open mic or two in New Bedford, and I thought I was gonna be like a Dane Cook type, like college, like play all the colleges kind of comic. And then I went there, and it was so good for me because I wasn't being myself on stage. I was trying to be this like proto, like, oh, what's up, bro? And that's just not me.
Yeah.
And I tried that shit over there. I have an old tape of me, like one of the first mics I did there.
Oh my God.
And the degree to which they hate, these are like all liberal arts degree people, like graduate students, and they're all very intelligent. And like, it was kind of mostly women there, which is crazy for an open mic.
Yeah.
And
well, there's a women's college right there.
yeah, there's like
Smith.
2 or 3 women's colleges all around the open
women
mic.
only?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like
That's allowed?
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
there
yeah.
a men's only college?
No.
Ugh.
The seminary.
Yeah, it's called engineering school. No, but they just hated me, and that was so good for me. I think it's good to be in a place where people don't really like you initially.
Yeah, I did. I started in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Not that that's equivalent.
Well, I'll tell you, Conroe, Texas. I go, hey guys. They're like, fuck you, and I'm like, sorry for being gay. I'll change all the pronouns.
I'll grow them all out. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll get jacked. They'll like that.
Yeah, guys, I'm just like you, but I am not a coward.
That's crazy.
My first ever open mic, I was going to school in Pennsylvania, and I looked up the closest open mic was in Washington, D.C. So it was probably the first week of college, and it was a bringer show, and I didn't know anyone. So I just walked down my freshman hallway, started knocking on doors, and I said, hey, I'll drive. Will you guys come to a comedy show for me? And they're like, sure. So I get like 5 guys that I've never met before. We drive an hour and a half south. I go up. It's a packed room because it's like a bringer, but it's in a bar. I do my whatever stupid fucking jokes. And bomb so badly that there's a woman in the front row who stands up, looks at me and goes, no. And I was just like, oh God, you're right. And I put the mic in the stand and I just walk off, and all of the guys are pissing themselves laughing at me.
Really funny.
my
And then they're all hammered drunk.
Yeah.
I'm sober. I have to drive all of us back to college where they tell everyone else on campus,
Humiliating.
Jimmy sucks at stand-up. So people that don't even know me as the guy that sucks at stand-up comedy. And I'm just like, that's like gotta be the worst way it could have gone.
Yeah.
It can't get worse than this. I might as well try it again.
See, I had the complete opposite experience where I went to Bishop's Lounge and I like killed my first time.
It was a great room.
It was a great room. And then afterwards, the guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh my God, come to my open mic next week down the road." And I was like, I'm getting ass to the open mic. I was like, and it was like down the road. And the next week I went, and just it was like the complete opposite experience of like a bar with all of the games on, nobody paying attention, and me just bombing. And I was like, well, I love this.
I think what you're talking about is where I did my first show. It's so funny.
It's
right in the
crazy.
same area.
Everything's so small.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it.
Yeah, especially out there where there's like nothing else to really do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'm from like even further. I'm from like an hour from Northampton. I'm from like the Berkshire, so it's like nothing going on. Yeah, there was literally like the comedy scene in the Berkshires was like 5 of us, and we each had our own show that we once a week, so we could each perform once a week for like 2 years. Wow. Yeah.
Fascinating.
It was crazy.
Yeah. What made you want to do it?
I think this podcast is never about stand-up, but I like didn't care about stand-up at all until I turned 18, and then I became obsessed with it, and then I was like, maybe I could do stand-up. And then at 21, and then I just was like, oh, I guess this is it.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I've just been like, yeah, this is the only thing I'll ever do.
Did anyone ever try to like make you into the fat comic?
No, that's so mean, Jimmy. No,
I'm not meaning like when you first start, you're figuring out what you're doing, and like I feel like if you are fat, then people are like, oh, just talk about being fat. Like there's like
well, they were like, well, you're obviously the fat comic, but maybe you're the fat gay comic. There's Ralphie May, but you might be Ralphie gay.
But I want to be clear that like I had a very different comedy experience than everybody else because I like went to Northampton those couple of times, but then I just went back to.
I had a completely different experience than everyone else.
Well, okay, tell me if you've ever heard this happen to somebody else. I did those 2 open mics, and then people from my hometown and in the Berkshire, so my family is very well known. I know everybody there. It heard that I started doing stand-up, so then bars and restaurants started booking me to come do an hour, and I would bring my own microphone and amp, and this would be like every couple of weeks, and I would do a full hour and just have like a bullet point of 60 points, and I would just do that for an hour full of bars and restaurants.
Wow.
So many times to the point where when those 5 comics and I all kind of met and started doing things, I was invited to a show. It was like sold out, and we were each doing apparently like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like killing, and I got off, and the guy was like, "You're great set, but you can never come back." And I was like, "Why?" He was like, "You just did 20 minutes. You blew the light." And I was like, "What's the light?" Nobody had ever shown me what the light was before.
Right.
He goes, "You didn't see me flashing?" And I go, "I thought you were taking pictures." Is that an experience you've heard other comics have in their first year doing an hour multiple times?
Okay, I'll eat that word.
Yeah,
I'll eat
that's
the
what I
words,
thought.
Yeah, no, that is unique.
That's so funny. You were like, damn, this guy fucking loves me. He's doing like the concert
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I'm crushing so
And then he had the show
hard.
next month, and he was like, "You can come back." And I was
Right.
like, "All right, thanks."
You can come back, but make sure you're the fat comic.
Yeah.
We need more of
but
that.
to my point was, I didn't have people being like, "You're like this," or "You're like this." I was just watching comedy and then being like, "What should I talk about?"
I had the worst advice. I think I had the worst advice at the beginning of my stand-up career than anyone. My grandfather was like, "You know what you should do? Have you ever thought about like bringing a glass of water up there, taking a sip, and then when the water's in your mouth, start doing your jokes. And it'll just dribble.
Well, alt comic grandpa. That's awesome. He should have been in Bushwick, dude. That would've been-
Like, I'm not doing that.
It is funny. I've seen that from someone. I feel like I saw Gilbert Godfrey do that.
Maybe. I mean,
Opposite experience. My grandmother, who's seen me do stand up so many times, she said to me in the beginning, she was like, "At the end of your set, you should go, 'Thanks for listening. I'm Dylan Carlino.'" And I was like, I go, "That's smart." And then ever since she said that, I always say my name at the end of my set.
Thanks for listening. It's
Yeah.
great too. I like that.
I
That's
have a
very nice.
lot of people be like, "Colton, have you ever like not just do less gay stuff?" That's the only advice I've ever gotten. It's like maybe even like come out later in the set. And
but
I'm
that's
like,
also bad advice.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be less.
It's all
gay in
bad
your
advice.
set.
It's all
It's never
stupid.
good.
No one ever knows anything.
No.
It's
Yeah.
all fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my sister's fucking stupid. You should meet her. She's an idiot.
She doesn't know shit about comedy.
Yeah.
Get her on stage, dude. I bet she gets booed off. Yeah, that shit.
Oh yeah, she'd never get on stage,
No.
but she is very fucking
How
funny.
old are you?
I'm 29.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You graduated high school in 2013?
Yes,
Yeah, cool.
sure did.
Um,
And did you have a painter father?
Painter?
Yeah.
No, yoga teacher.
your dad was a yoga
Dad
teacher?
was a yoga teacher.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Liberal household. Okay.
No, mom was a bricklayer.
Whoa.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Massachusetts.
Wait, are
you
woman
fucking
I-
with me?
No, that was the household. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's not that she wasn't liberal, but like there were a lot of like I was around a lot of like blue collar
Yeah.
people because of my mom.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
like her
Wait.
friends and stuff.
So wait, was
She
your
gay?
was you? I'm
No,
so quick.
no.
Yeah.
She very like feminine woman. Like you picture like stock, but no, she was really strong. I remember she would like beat me in arm wrestling up until I was like 15 or 16, and I thought that was like normal.
You know what though? That's just like I have an Aunt Kelly, and she's like, she does tile work.
Yeah.
And she's always like, "Oh, Dill." She's like, doing tile work, everyone thinks I'm gay, but I love cocks. I'd be like, "You're crazy, Kelly." And then one time she was like, "Oh, when I was 18 years old, I crashed my car into a tree drunk driving. I had 20 pounds of pot in the back. The police officer knew the family, so he just threw it away. I was in a coma for 3 months. I woke up, never been skinnier." I was like, "Kelly, you're the best." Wait, so do you now look for women who are a little bit more masculine?
No, like.
And is your dad like what did you describe your dad a little bit?
So he's dead now.
Oh.
Too much yoga. But
I guess it's not healthy.
yeah.
I guess it's not
But
good for you.
he was built. He looked kind of like a blue collar dad, but he was just more stretchy than other ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been asked this. Do you think your dad could like put his legs behind his head?
That's a great question. I think he could at certain point. I think when I was around, his glory days were over, but he'd
okay.
show me old pictures.
Him with his head-
Yeah.
This is me.
So this is what girls like.
you want to ask her out to prom? Show her this.
Yeah. But no, like I grew up in like kind of an open enough place where like he would teach yoga at like the school I went to for like not a ton, but like for like a special thing, like for gym class he would come in and be like, "Hey, this is how you stretch." So like it was like relatively open minded, but it definitely wasn't normal like guy yoga teacher.
Were you doing
Yeah,
yoga in the house a lot?
Yeah, when I was younger, I would. Yeah, and I'm like on and off doing it now, but it was like normal.
Hey guys, thank you so much for supporting our podcast by listening. If you'd like to support and make sure that we keep on making episodes, head over to our Patreon.
And that's a threat because can you clip this up? We have bonus weekly episodes. We're doing watch-alongs with Queer folks and other TV shows that we all love, and you get early access to the Monday episode every single Friday. Plus, plus access to our Discord, where everybody chats and shows pictures of their cock.
It's becoming a real community.
We were creating a universe.
No, and you guys are a part of it. Head over to patreon.com/some of this is bad. You guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Now enjoy the show, you fucking
pigs.
But yeah, it was
How
definitely weird.
flexible are you?
Not very.
No.
Not incredibly, no.
No, okay.
I wish every podcast asked me that.
I told you it was gay without the pop culture references.
Now it's coming. Yeah, now I understand.
How gay could you be?
But
Yeah, have you ever done anything gay?
no.
Okay, nothing.
No, I mean, what constitutes is, like, give me an example.
Have you ever jerked off in the same room as a friend?
No.
Even
No, I didn't have enough
How about
friends.
an enemy?
I think if I was offered, I might, just to kind of be, like, hang out with the guy. I remember these two kids did that when I was in middle school, and I was like shocked.
Yeah.
Well, because I also didn't know how to jerk.
Wait, there's two people, so one of them told everybody?
Yeah. They both told everybody. They were like very proud of it. It was
The guys that do that, they are proud
They're
of it.
very
They
proud
do
of it.
want to let people know.
They're like the boys.
Yeah.
Well, they like do it as like you're not even friends with him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That makes
We
more
beat
sense.
off together, okay?
He told you he cares about Stacy. Have you beat off in the same room as him?
Yeah.
This might be too much information.
No,
but
nothing.
I really didn't have very close friends until like later on in high school. So I started, this is crazy. I started my like masturbating. I never knew you could do it with your hand. I would pick, we had like a, like not tile, but whatever the fuck, like that slick material on my bathroom floor.
Linoleum?
growing up. It might have been linoleum. Yeah. And I would put a mixture of water and shampoo on the linoleum, and I would just rub myself like a seal on the linoleum
Until you would come?
until I would come. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
how I would do it for like the formative, like when I was, I think I probably like 12, 13 years
No
old.
judgment. How long did that take?
It took, but I think the slickness of it was very nice. I will say
Yeah,
that.
of course.
But like I probably normal like 5 minutes.
His mom's
know?
like,
Wow.
the
In and
kitchen
out.
floors are looking
No,
incredible.
that's what was so funny. One time my fucking sister slipped. And I was like, I was cleaning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I like a clean floor.
yeah. But I remember that I remember when they told me initially, I was initially like, you were both on the bathroom floor together.
Oh my God.
And then I was kind of explained to me that they were, doing that weird shit you guys do. in your head.
That makes so much. You guys, so like, did you use double the soap? People are gonna notice if that much shampoo
It's
is
like
missing.
that shit's gay.
Yeah.
Okay, both of you moving your hips like that.
Because you probably had to consider, like, if I run out of shampoo this much, they're gonna be on to me, so that I'm gonna have to use more water than shampoo.
Right. Those big purple bottles of Aussie shampoo,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
for
smell of it is
blondes?
still a trigger for me. Still a
Tear
trigger
free.
For me.
That's an
Yeah.
aphrodisiac.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So it's like, have you ever gotten like shampoo in your pee hole? Like it burns.
It does a little bit, yeah, and that would happen. But that's just the price of fucking admission, dude.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
you got to push through that shit. Yeah.
Also, how did you find that out? Were you just drawing
I think
yourself
when you're a
on
kid,
the
you just
floor?
like, you just
You just do. I remember I was at this. We were like selling. We were selling like my childhood home, and like we were moving to another. We were in process, but they were still moving it out. I think my mom and her friends were like getting the last cleaning done of the house, and I remember it like for some reason, I don't know how it dawned on me. I just locked the doors of the bathroom, and I did that while they were all there. And I don't know why it was then. It's just I think like you're an insane person when you're that young.
Yeah, it's like
Inspiration
you are
struck.
inventing.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah. It was like Newton, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
the light bulb goes off.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
I figured it out.
It was like the Queen's Gambit, where like my fucking like on the ceiling, it just like a bottle of shampoo and water and me rubbing on it. And I was like, that.
Or like Sherlock, where you're just picturing what's happening.
First, pants down, zipper.
Yeah,
Shampoo bottle on the floor.
yeah.
Why didn't you have friends until later in high school?
I was just not easy to get along with. Like it wasn't. I used to explain it as I got bullied, and I kind of did, but it was also like I had a part in it for sure. I was like, still am like very judgmental, and I was very like exceptional in my thinking of myself, if that makes any sense. So like I wasn't good. yeah. So
If you didn't catch that, he looked at me.
so I wasn't good at like the early group formations of like childhood friendship. And I had to kind of like reverse engineer it later on, where I kind of learned like secondhand that that's what you do. You know what I mean?
I completely get that. I was
Yeah.
also kind of bullied, but then also would show up to the lunch table like extra early every day to the popular girls' school to sit there before they got there to be like, it's just a table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dude.
just to piss them off. You know, and it's like, yeah, Dylan, you're asking for it. You're going to school asking for it.
Wait, can you read the message from your high school bully? No, your high school enemy.
Oh yeah, I did get into
a high school enemy.
I opened my archived messages on Facebook and I found a message that I had written to my high school enemy after a fight one day in ninth grade.
Yeah, like a fist fight, or was it?
No, this was a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was.
Hey, everything's on the table. All right.
So just to be clear, before I read this, what had happened at school that day was this is like when Twitter had just come out, and she was writing like, oh, everyone thinks I'm fat, quotation marks, and then writing my friend's name backwards.
Right.
Whose name was. We're gonna have to bleep the names out or whatever. Not the first. I don't care about the first name.
The initial subtweet. She subtweeted them.
Yeah, she was subtweeting my friends.
Got it.
So this is from.
It was Jessica, but it was A. I mean, it wasn't Jessica. I don't know what it was, but it was like ASSICAK.
Oh,
AJ.
so really clear.
Yeah. It was just the name backwards.
So this is a message that I sent to her right after school on October 15th, 2009. Lauren, you are so pathetic.
Calling a child pathetic is so funny.
Oh, no, wait. Ready for the rest of it? You are the biggest friend jumper, and you treat your friends like crap. Jackie doesn't blame people for calling her fat. It's so immature that we are in 10th grade, and I can't believe you're acting just like you did in 6th grade. You are so You are so insecure, and it's sad that you treat people so badly. You make people feel like crap. Posting things on Twitter is so rude and despicable. Spelling people's names backwards to get at them. All Jackie did was sit at the lunch table. She didn't even say anything to you. And for what you did to me, that was so rude, and I can't believe you act that way. And the only reason people don't snap at you in the halls is because I tell them not to. Because they're so mad about the lunch table.
They're so mad about the lunch table. It's my favorite
I
line.
tell them not to. Ready? And here's the last line. The last line. So think before you act. Absolutely destroyed.
Funny.
Oh,
damn! You were maniacal.
Oh,
I like that.
I was in high school, absolutely part of the drama.
Yeah.
In it, starting,
Loved it, too.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Like it was my life bread. It's all I had. Small town. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
We
it
learned
gets
from our
addicting,
parents.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite line in there is, and everybody's mad about the lunch table.
Mine is when I opened it and I saw, Lauren, you are so pathetic. I haven't called someone pathetic in 10 years.
Yeah, pathetic is odd because it's like every kid is pathetic.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's such an easy thing to call.
By the way, that
somebody.
message is pathetic. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, but it's funny.
Here's what I wish that like younger people knew. It's like to be a teenager is so humiliating that like do yourself a favor and don't use Instagram. Don't use those things. Like even this popping up and it's a message form. Could you imagine if I had like what they have now, TikTok and Instagram and all this stuff and the videos
permanent
of
now.
them
Yeah,
talking?
yeah.
It's forever.
It's
So-
humiliating.
So over Thanksgiving, all the nephews and nieces were like being like, "Yeah, he likes this girl." She'd be like, "No, he likes this." And so one of them accused the niece of liking this kid named AJ. And so we're like, "Pull up AJ. We got to see AJ." And then she didn't want to. She ran out of the room. And so he pulls up a video of AJ, and he is dancing in orange socks and basketball shorts, but like humping, and you're just seeing
I
his
knew
fucking thing. I was
already
like, dude,
that's
this
what it
kid,
was.
I was like, it's fucking scarred in my head as these kids are just, it's so cringy.
Well, they
that
see
I-
so much more stuff now. So it's like, I remember like when we were in 8th grade, it was like, oh, I like him, I like her. And your buddies would grab your phone and text someone, I like you. And you'd be like, fuck, no, I don't. My friend stole my phone.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, did you even twerk on him? Or
Yeah.
By the way, if I was in middle school or high school now, I 100% would be like making videos with like eye makeup on, being like, "Get ready with me for school. I go destroy the girls I go to school with." Like it would be humiliating.
And Chrissy, I know you're watching because I can fucking see.
Yeah.
You're pathetic.
You're pathetic. You're pathetic, and everybody hates you. Although I do love there are videos on TikTok of these girls who are like, they have to be like 12 and they're putting makeup on, and they're like, "I hate drama," and they're like doing, and I'm like, I love this girl.
Yeah.
What about the fact that now with the internet, a lot of these kids are like going out and trying things earlier. Like they're trying, like, oh, I want to be a fitness influencer and
Yeah.
I'm 12 years old, or I want to be.
The amount of 21-year-old life coaches I've seen is like crazy.
It's awesome. I love that. I really do. There's something so like debauched about it, like seeing the like demon face of capitalism in this like 21-year-old guy being like, you just got to work hard every day just like my parents did, who are both in finance and bought me this suit. Like but I remember like that early, because I remember I didn't have a phone until really, really late. But it's funny how stuff always comes up in different ways, but it's almost the same. Like with phones and stuff, like there's all this, kids are texting each other and, sending pictures they shouldn't and posting videos and stuff. But when I was younger, I remember I just told this kid on the bus who was like older than me, like, I forget how I mentioned it, but I was like, oh, I think like my sister like might have a crush on you or something. Like not even thinking about it. And then that got back to my sister, and my sister burst into my room with a hairdryer, swinging it like a mace, and just beat the shit out of me. So it is,
Older or younger sister?
Older sister.
Okay.
So even without phones,
Yeah, I think older for sure. I think your younger sister's beating you up.
Yeah, she beat it. This is my 8-year-old sister. I was 22.
Yeah.
You get beat up by your younger sisters?
Well, we weren't allowed to hit women. So it's like my dad said, if she comes at you, just learn how to take a fucking hit. And I would.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
I think that's good advice.
It's very good. I mean,
My
I'm not in jail,
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know the rules. I don't have a kid, so I don't know. Yeah, but my sister used to beat the shit out of me, so
Yeah.
I just assumed it was older.
Yeah. I think that's good for you.
I don't know.
I think it is.
I don't know. She's my best friend now,
Yeah, there you go.
so
Hey,
My dad
childhood
would
is
always-
humiliating, and everyone needs to move on. Like, no one should be. I saw that it's always that quote on TikTok. It's like, "Were you a terrible person, or were you 15?"
Right.
And I think that's probably the best way to describe being
I
15.
get that's a big problem for me though, because I get and it's like emotional. It's not logical, but I still get really ashamed of like tantrums I threw when I was like 10.
Really?
Like I remember I was at Chuck E. Cheese and my mom brought me, and I didn't get enough tickets to like get the thing that I wanted, and I just threw this fit. And my mom, like, who was obviously exhausted, she's like, how much to buy the like 3-cent thing my son wants? I remember she just like shelled out her money that she worked hard for and and it still comes up for me. And I try to move
I used
past
to
it.
deal with that a lot.
try
as
to
well.
move past it or just forget it.
I guess both, but it comes up a lot. It comes up more than you think.
Yeah, there will be moments where I'm just sitting in bed. I'm like, fuck, I can't believe I hope no one remembers that.
I swear to God, I'm like I feel the shame.
Yeah,
I feel
that
it.
moment
Yeah.
for me is one time I was putting my sleeping bag away at a sleepover, and my friend was like, "Oh, well, why aren't you rolling it up?" It was like, "Cause my dad said so." Just that one line. That one line. I'm like, "You're an idiot, Colton."
Yeah.
Wait, don't you roll?
And it's right in your fucking head. Yeah.
I will say though something because I used to have that problem too, where I really used to like. I mean, I'd get into bed and just turn on the shame TV. Like
Right.
it would just be like
Right.
the worst things that I've ever done or said, or humiliating moments, and just like really bathe myself in shame to make myself feel really bad. And then I heard someone say like, doing that is actually like it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the person that maybe you embarrassed or hurt or anything. So if it's that bad, you should apologize to them. If it's not, then you just need to move on, because you're just self-masturbatory strain, and it's a self-obsession.
It is a self-obsession. That's the interesting thing about
And
it. Yes.
that made me be like, and I don't drink anymore, and it really being like, and I used to have a lot of shame about the way I would act when I would drink, and I was like, all right, you either owe someone an apology, it's not a big deal, or if they're upset with you and they never say anything to you, then that's their problem.
That's a great way to look at it, because I remember I did, like, this is insane, but not too long ago, I did apologize to my mom where I was like, hey, I'm sorry for like, and she was like, Dan, it was like $5. Like, stop it. But it's just, some things just get stuck in your body in this weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I can logically say, like, obviously it didn't matter. Obviously it was just $5. But like the feeling of like throwing a tantrum and being so entitled, it's interesting that was all still encapsulated in like the person I am now. You know what I mean? Obviously different,
Right.
But like there was something of me back then that is me now.
Well,
you know?
what I'm curious of is like, in that situation, you throw a tantrum at the Chuck E. Cheese because you couldn't get the toy. Your mom goes, hey, how much to just buy the toy?
Right.
What if there was like a super self-entitled cashier that's like, it's actually 2,000 tickets? And then your mom throws a fucking tantrum. She's like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry your son isn't fucking good at skee ball, but this kid, I was watching him the whole time. He blows at it.
Yeah, you're just teaching him that he owes something, but he actually doesn't deserve anything because I saw.
Should fucking learn how to work harder.
And if you want to teach him a lesson, go teach him how to play skee ball.
That would be so good for me, I think. I think that would have really cured a lot of
You're like,
issues.
Mom,
And
do
also,
you-
I think it's important to like, because when you're a kid or whatever, you're like, you're on Earth. You have no idea how to act. That's the whole point of being a kid is that you act out, and your parents say like, that's not how you act. So when you're an adult, you're not like screaming at a Walmart manager about like your things are out. You know what I mean? Like it's a good thing that happened at Chuck E. Cheese, so it's not happening now.
Yeah, I got like the Karen-ness kind of beat out of me by how bad that felt.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, right. I think
My
you're right.
cousins like were very like parented, so like they were like very much like looked after over their parents. We were very much like lone wolves and basically just like acting out. But I knew that she was worried about being a custodian of us at places, my aunt. And so I would purposefully do crazy shit, like get on the ground and start screaming. She's like, "You're 18. Stop." I'm like, "I want a pretzel. I want a pretzel." She just walk away.
So my two cousins, when they were like little kids, were probably the worst kids ever. Like they were truly just
interesting.
really, really bad kids. Like one time their uncle took a nap on the couch, so one of them pissed on his face.
Oh my God,
Dude, I'm telling you, they were the worst kids ever.
I was
yeah, that could be you. Could you imagine if you pissed on your
on his,
uncle's
not
face?
even on like his leg or
No,
something.
right on
I
his
don't know if that's
fucking
much
face.
better, but like,
But
No, what I mean, did they also kill like animals?
no, nothing like serial killery. It was just like troublemakers.
I don't know. I think pissing on a
Yeah, that's
fucking-
crazy.
Well, like, well, okay, the only time they ever hurt animals was like my mom.
All right. Well,
No, it was my mom was like watching them and she wasn't paying attention. And so one of them walked up and slipped a goldfish right into her Diet Coke. And I don't mean the cracker, I mean a real goldfish.
Yeah.
So when my mom took a sip, she saw a fucking fish swimming around. But like,
Knowing your mom, that's very funny though.
yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah, your mom definitely seems like if she was my aunt, I'd be pranking her all.
Yeah.
It's very Parent Trap, the lizard in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah. Pissed on it.
That no, if my nephew's pissed on my face, I'd be like, yeah, I'm never coming home for Christmas.
I love bad kids, dude. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Just like awful children.
Yeah, one time that we were at a restaurant with my grandfather, and my grandfather's like, "Hey, can you guys bring me over to the bathroom? I don't know where it is." So they show him, and then he goes up to the urinal, and then one of them hits the light. It was like they worked together for this. One of them hit the light, so it turned off, and he goes, "Ah, what's happening? What's happening?" And the other one put his hands in my grandpa's back pockets and pulled him back. So he's like pissing all over the place in the dark, and he lost it. He was like, "Will you fucking?"
if I
That
did
is
that to my
really
grandfather,
fucking
he would have beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's great. I love the spirit of these kids. America's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
My grandpa had dementia, and so he would just like come with it and just be the funniest person. We were at like my second cousin's like doctoral. She got her PhD or her doctorate, and so it's a celebration for that. And I had to take him to go pee. He was so old that he couldn't like unzip his pants, and so I unzip his pants. He's peeing in front of the urinal. He just looks at me and goes, "I guess anybody can be a doctor these days." That's crazy, dude. I just helped you pee. Now you're being mean to people.
Although if my grandson had to pull my penis out and help me pee, I'd also be like, your brother's a fucking idiot.
You crack a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta do something. Yeah, you're the good brother. Now
Yeah.
put it to the left a little bit. You see the
God
sway.
damn it, aim for me, kid.
Oh God, what's your dating life like?
I have a girlfriend. I've had we've been dating for like a year now,
Oh,
maybe a
nice.
little bit more. Yeah,
How'd
it's
you
been
guys
great.
meet?
Met her at a poker game.
Whoa,
Yeah, it
So
was very
cool.
Yeah,
That
very
is
cool.
Wait. Was
Yeah.
she playing?
She was playing.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know if she was
Yeah.
like
Who's
one of
better?
the trophy girls.
The trophy girls
I
at the
don't know.
poker game.
The
Yeah.
ring girls is what I meant.
No, it's so funny. People have this. I play poker semi regularly. It's like that's my hobby pretty much, and it's funny because people have this glamorized version of poker, and if you're playing at very high, well, some people do. Some people picture poker and they think of like high stakes, and
Casino Royale,
Royale,
James Bond.
But it is, even at the high levels, it's very kind of seedy. But at the low level, if you go to the like lowest level of poker at a casino, generally is called $1, $2 stakes, right? It is a bus stop at that table. I lost the biggest hand ever. I'd maybe played 3 times, and I lost maybe like $150, $200, which is a lot for me back then. And I'm just like beside myself, and I put my head down. And when I put my head down, I realized the guy next to me is watching porn on his phone, just with headphones in, not paying attention to the game. And I was like, oh, what am I doing here?
Well, where do you live right now? In
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to any of those like rounder type games?
Kind like the low stakes version of it.
Okay,
yeah.
because I've done that in New York. Do you know what that is,
No.
boys? So like, there's no real casinos around New York City. I mean, I guess there is by far
Like
East
Mohegan
Hills,
Sun.
but like that's, you have to go far.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like underground
They put
games.
the games together themselves.
Yeah, and it's illegal.
Right.
And so like the only way to find it is to go through Craigslist, and you have to prove that you're not a cop, and you show up to this place, and then it's just you and like
How do you prove you're not a cop?
you have to send your ID, and then they go and they check it, and they look through your Facebook and make sure you're not friends with any cops, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I went there when I was in college, and it's like intimidating because you're like, fuck, what's gonna happen? But like it's also fucking exhilarating, because you're 19 years old and you're playing with like nothing but like basically just Chinese immigrants. No one speaks English, and there's like a lot of money on the table, and I'm like, oh fuck, I hope I don't win.
Yeah. That's the other fun thing about it, is you meet people that you would never really meet otherwise.
like
Yeah,
your
it's kinda
girlfriend.
like AA.
Yeah, my girlfriend. Yeah, which she doesn't have any social media, so like I wouldn't have met her. were it
Oh,
not
is she
to be for
really
that book.
pretty?
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
when girls have no social media, you're like, oh, she's pretty.
Yeah. She and
Opposite, when a guy has no social media, you're like he's straight.
he has nothing to take pictures of.
Yeah,
or
no,
he's
actually-
just or 100% straight. Like I feel like
Right.
I've never met a gay guy who doesn't have social media.
There was something someone like a woman said on a pot, which obviously who gives a shit, but she was like, I the only guys I'm interested in are ones who have never taken a selfie.
Yeah.
And I hear that and I go, I've taken many selfies, but I understand that. I get it.
Unless
I
it's with
get
a
that.
fish. If it's with a fish, I feel like it's okay.
That is okay. You're right. Yeah. Because I
Oh.
mean, you went fishing alone. You don't even have
Yeah.
a friend to take it
Yeah,
with. you.
just-
Yeah, that's cool. But
'Cause the fish in your head is the subject.
Yeah.
I think for straight guys, women don't want them to think that they're pretty or that
Yeah.
they're attractive.
Well, there is something
Yeah,
so off-putting about a straight guy who knows he's hot.
right.
You're like, yeah, he knows, and then they start acting like monsters.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never met a hot straight guy who knows he's hot, who's also like really kind.
Yeah, because you kind of go like, how am I
That's
gonna
so
one up him? Like I can't degrade him. He knows he's hot.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I have to be like, well, I can't just call him a loser. He knows he's not.
Yeah, it's with straight men, it has to always come down to personality. So it's like if they're hot, if they have money, if they're tall.
Is that what you've been doing? Tell me my mind's broken.
No, your mind is broken.
But maybe it's not. Maybe I've been gaslit this
Oh,
whole time.
interesting. That's all I can get you with.
Colton,
Oh my god, that's so
everyone tells
Maybe
you-
your mind's perfect.
Everyone tells you your mind's broken.
Maybe all those
Oh my
horrible habits you have are
gosh.
actually good.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna start drinking again.
Oh, that was fine. Don't let the world tell you you're wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, start drinking again. The podcast will be just Dylan. But yeah, you have to tell straight guys who know that they're hot. They're like, you were like with Matt Ross. He's a local comic.
That
in town.
is who I was thinking.
He
too.
knows he's really hot,
Right.
And so I like to remind him, like, hey, like everybody hates you, and I think and I
Dylan's
go,
so different from high school.
and I go, and just to let you know, you are like, because he doesn't work out. I go, you are so close to eating too many calories to gaining weight. So
Damn,
things
that's
are gonna be.
so evil. that's incredibly
I actually
evil.
started a rumor about him that he had that he wasn't hot anymore and
No,
that he
no.
had lost his sparkle.
Lost the
Yeah,
sparkle.
those are there's certain insults where it's like if you just call someone stupid or fat or ugly, chances are like it can hurt their feelings, but chances are they're at least somewhat like galvanized against that. Like they've maybe heard it before, they understand that might be coming. It's the ones that don't, they just crossed the line into insulting. Like
Yeah.
there was a friend of mine, but we had just met each other, and she has sort of an impulsive, like, she'll just kind of say something that she's thinking. We were just hanging out before this open mic, and she looks at me and she goes, "You're like the kind of guy that straight guys think is good looking, but not women." Brutal. And I was like, "Why did you say it?" She was like, "Oh, I just thought it. I don't know."
But that's
Is
not
that
bad.
helpful?
That's you and Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
would be in the same category then,
Yeah.
right?
Right. That's the thing about those kinds of guys is like people will say that, but the real thing is I think that women just have like a broader taste.
Yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds is attracted to some women and Timothy Chalamet to others. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Timothy Chalamet girls, I don't understand them.
It's interesting, but you know, I watched Dune for the first time recently. Great movie, and I will say I was like, there is something like. Yeah, he looked different than other people in this way that I think is interesting.
Yeah,
I
girls
like
like
him.
interesting, men like hot.
Yes, right.
Well, and he's gonna assume the throne of Atreides, and yeah, sure, he's turning out to be the emperor. So yeah,
Right.
I get it.
And he can do the what's it called when they do the like
The
telekinesis?
voice.
Yeah, and he can do the voice.
See, I don't like that he does the voice. I like when only girls can do the voice.
I don't like that he does the I don't like that he does the voice with his mom. Can I say that? In the
Yeah.
Wait,
movie?
he didn't voice on his mom.
He did voice on his mom. That's the first thing that happens in the movie. Is he voices his mom is like, voice me.
Well, she's teaching him.
Yeah. When she's teaching him, she's like, "Tell me to give you the water," and he's like, "Okay," and she's like, "Use the voice." I didn't like. I was just like,
I like that.
We're on the border here. I don't know,
Yeah.
folks.
Oh, fucking voice me again. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
actually, that would be interesting. Like, that's some ultimate sub dom dynamic.
The voice. Yeah.
My dom voices me all the time.
Oh, you know there are so many nerds that do the Dune
Yeah.
voice for sure.
Take off your pants. Show me your hole, boy.
Move my Funko Pops off the bed right now.
Fungal Pops?
Yeah, Funko Pop, the little like big head. I just associate that with like
Bobblehead.
like
Oh.
Reddit people, like Reddit adults.
They sell them at
I don't know
GameStops
things.
and whatnot, you know.
Yeah,
I have Stream. Is it Stream?
No.
Steam.
No, Steam.
Steam.
What's Steam?
It's
do you ever use,
PC in your hands.
do you ever do Steam rooms?
yes, actually.
And
very
are you
often.
being hit on by gay guys there?
It's happened only twice because I feel like the way, and I might be wrong here, but just from being there, I found that gay guys hit on each other mostly with like look, like
Looking.
it's a vision thing first. I've gotten the like, and then it's very easy to kind of not do
Yeah.
that. But there was one time, it was so funny. There was this like, I was getting a towel, and there was this big like European dude next to me. And as I was getting the towel, he was like, "Are you Europe?" And I go, "Oh no, I'm American." He was like, "You look so Italy."
That's funny.
But I think that was the only like blatant instance.
Yeah,
of
because we
it,
always
you
like
know?
to ask the straight boys if they ever get guys jerking off at them in the saunas because
No.
that happens a lot actually.
I haven't been to a sauna where jerking off. Like at the sauna I go to, it's We Spa in LA, which is like a famous, huge spa, and there's just so many people. Like there are gay guys that go there, but there's also like the most homophobic Russians of all time.
Yeah.
So there's certain stuff that doesn't fly there. I
For
feel.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you look more Russian than you do Italian.
Oh,
but
that's
who knows?
nice. Yeah.
Is it?
I guess I don't know. I think everything is a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Huh.
I like the UFC, so being called Russian to me is sort of like that's a compliment to me.
Yeah, you look like a Russian Muslim.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a great compliment. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was going to bring up Muhammad, but no need.
Yeah. Yeah, please don't.
Is that a person you know, or
No, it's I was bringing it up because
yeah.
I feel like it doesn't matter.
We have a couple of rules in the podcast, and one of them was you don't talk about Iran.
Okay, wait. I want to talk about something that just
I'm
happened.
just saying, I wish Muhammad had a TikTok growing up. That's all I was going to say.
I was waiting for geopolitics to come
We don't
up.
do
Can I
that.
just say
This is like geopolitics adjacent, but the guy that the assassin that just killed that insurance guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You see that there was the photo of him that's been kind of going viral, and everyone's saying they think he's gay. What do you think?
Oh,
everybody thinks
He was dressed impeccably.
I will
and
say though,
he
just
was
to throw it out there, like
attractive.
people people are like, this is him 20 minutes before, but that guy they're showing is in a completely different jacket and a different backpack.
But it's not
Right.
completely different. It just is a different shade.
You know what
No,
makes
it's a
me think?
different. One of them has it's a completely different jacket and a different backpack.
Apart from the pictures, what makes me think he's gay is that he wrote those things on the bullet casings, and that's almost like the mean shit posting, right?
Yeah.
Defend.
Yeah.
Stop tweeting me, bitch.
That smile he has, I was like, that's a gay smile. If I know
me.
a gay smile, it's that guy's smile.
Especially because it was at a woman. You go, that wasn't an A.
Yeah, he was saying like, "How you doing, girl?"
Yeah, he was like, okay, girl.
I do love that it's like, I need my coffee bore I assassinate.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
God.
tired. Yeah.
Did they say what his
Not
order
before
was?
coffee.
Did they say what his order was?
If it wasn't like a black Americano,
Yeah.
you can't be like, "Can I please get the Frappuccino before?" And it's like, you're gonna be sick. How are you gonna shoot the gun?
Yeah. No, don't tell me what to eat. Strawberry frap, please.
Yeah.
He's like, the gun is jamming. I am not going to on the toilet later. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It's also crazy how the whole world, I don't want to say they're like happy that guy died, but like nobody's on his side.
Well, I was trying to find, because I'm very fascinated in the public reaction to it.
Yeah.
Fox News did run a couple of articles that were like, left-wing extremists celebrate the death of like this guy, but I always look at the comments under Fox News articles. It's very interesting to me, and I gotta say there were enough people on the comments being like, like usually the comments under a Fox News article is they'll write something that's kind of like dog whistly, and then the comments are what they're actually trying to say.
Yeah.
But these comments were like, even on, which is nuts to me.
Yeah.
Like even on Fox, where they're
Well,
like,
on Fox recently, they've been like, Bernie Sanders is not that bad. And you're
Yeah,
like,
it's very
"What?
fascinating."
You guys have been fucking. Even my sister, who is super Republican, was like, "Well, he has some good points too."
yeah, right.
Except the
There's a whole
communist
thing
shit.
where-
Little late to come around. I
Yeah.
feel if we had that just a few years ago.
I go,
Yeah, but
you
there's
know,
even-
the only thing we can agree on is we fucking hate Hillary Clinton.
But
That's
there's
right,
also
yeah.
like a huge demographic of people who voted for Donald Trump and also love AOC. There's like
Right.
there is crossover, you know. But
yeah,
like,
it's not a monolith. Like I think the
everybody's
two-party thing,
yeah. Even who cares? Honestly,
Yeah.
on this podcast there is no party. There's just gay and straight.
Hey, that's a party,
That's a
baby.
party,
You know what I'm
baby.
saying? Come
I
on.
will say this though, I saw something very funny. It was this woman tweeted and she goes, "I've been married to my husband for 10 years. He has had social media the entire time, never posted once, including when we got married. This is the first post that he's made ever." And it was a photo of the guy that died and it just said, "Haha, bozo." It's like, yo,
I
that
gotta
dude's
expre-
not cheating.
I gotta
right?
express
Like-
myself.
Well, but I was really thinking about this because like I was like, it's so fascinating that this guy gets shot and everybody seems to be celebrating it, because obviously I wouldn't like it's a complicated thing, but I was like, yeah, I mean, he is, you know, a person who's like killed, and it's not like he ever directly strangled somebody or
Yeah.
whatever. But then I was like, well, it's almost like if you're gonna be that powerful, whether or not it's right, there are certain things that come with that level of power, especially in an industry that's so polarized, where I'm like, you know who didn't get any like celebratory posts is my dad when he died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was, and the reason why is because he was like a yoga teacher making $60,000 a year.
Right, but he didn't have the responsibility. But
Right.
but that is also assumed because he actually doesn't have a lot of choices. He's really just doing whatever the stakeholders want, which is like bottom and top line, and it is going to be destructive towards
That's
poor people.
That right, and that's why I think of it as more of a simple thing of like, if you're a comedian and you die, people are going to make jokes about you because that's the field that you're in.
As they should.
As they should, and you should. So I was just thinking of it more like, that's how I kind of compartmentalized it. It's like, yeah, you don't get to be a CEO and then also have like this big damage control, because you get to live, I mean, the version of life that you're living when you're making that much money is just so drastically. I feel like if you told me, hey, Dan, you can make $4 billion a year, obviously not with the destruction that comes with that job, but if you just told me, hey, Dan, you make $4 billion a year, but when you die, everybody makes a bunch of memes about it, I'm like,
yeah.
Piss on my grave.
yeah.
Piss all over it.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, because with $4 billion a year, you can spend I don't know, 3 billion for an entire continent. Just like, no, we like them. No, we like them. Yeah,
On damage
3
control.
billion, yeah.
That would be so fun. You just run a big like campaign in, like Ecuador, and then every Ecuadorian is so that would be awesome.
You don't even have to run a campaign. Just give people money a lot.
Right. Yeah.
That's what Pablo Escobar did.
Yep.
In Colombia,
It's
a
very
lot of
true.
people loved Pablo Escobar. 'Cause he
Sidebar,
would-
I want a really sad funeral.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
of course
God.
you
I want
do.
people to be really sad.
What? So, by the way, I worked as a gravedigger for a while. This is the thing about
What?
me. I worked at a graveyard, and like we did a lot of landscaping. We also dug the graves. So
With a shovel.
So there were these older plots. For the regular graves, they would just use a backhoe. But there were these older plots, so plots that, like, because Massachusetts are really old graveyards, like back to the
Beautiful.
1600s, right? They're gorgeous. And when they made those old plots, you can't move them or anything because they're, like, historic. But you can't fit a backhoe in them because when the plots were designed, they didn't have backhoes. So they were like, oh, well, we'll put it close together. So you can't fit machinery in there, so you have to do them by hand. So there was 2 that we had to do by hand.
Wait, what? You had to dig up 1,600-year-old things?
No, because it was a family plot, so they still had room for other people, but he didn't have room for a backhoe.
Oh.
So, like this guy had a family plot that went back to the 1800s, but and like he just died, so we have to bury him in the family plot. So we have.
Was
to
anyone in the family notable?
No, I think they didn't do a lot with their time there. To be honest with you, it was a very poorly attended funeral, and I saw a lot of those.
Do you
But
guys have
that's-
plots?
Well, wait, hold on. With a poorly attended funeral, that's actually with like super successful guys. That's typically what happens.
Oh, like a
My
Gatsby thing, huh?
Well, yeah, it's like my grandfather. He was a limo driver, and he just did funerals every single day for 40 years straight. And he goes, let's say there's like a big CEO. If his wife dies, everyone's going to the funeral. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. So-and-so. I put my condolences. But if he dies, nobody's going because he can't help them anymore.
Whoa.
What the fuck do I care? What is your wife going to do? You know what I mean? It's a totally different situation. So it's only will people benefit from going to the funeral or not.
Imagine the one guy who shows up there to network and no one's there. He's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I brought flowers. I'm trying to make partner.
Wait, quickly. Do you guys have plots?
No, we come
I'm gonna
from
get
a military
cremated.
family.
You have a
so-
plot.
I have a plot.
You have a plot. You bought a plot.
No, my sister died when I was 13, so my mom just
Got
bought
it.
like 5 plots for us.
Yeah.
Did
So
they do like
really
a 2 5 for
dark.
1?
like
so
right after.
dark.
Yeah, like I think it was a bundle deal.
Oh,
She bought
man.
all the plots for her kids?
And her.
That's so
Hey, kids,
dark.
Kids,
Her
I know
dad?
you feel really bad
No,
right
he's
now,
he
but
said-
I have. Dude, we're gonna make you feel worse. You know how your sister just died? Well, here's where you're gonna
Yeah,
be.
I was even when I was a kid. I was like, I know where I'm being buried.
But it's also like, what
Oh,
about your
that's so
partner?
interesting.
Like,
I-
if
I
I,
think
was,
my mom was like, Dylan's getting
no, but you're still have a partner.
Yeah, I know. And then her future partner, and then her dad. Wait,
I
so
think
do
when
you
you- I
want to
think-
be buried there?
I actually have never thought about it. I just assumed I always would be. I go, well, I already have my spot.
Right.
If I have
That's
any
so sad.
if
I don't
I-
like
sad.
that.
I
You
don't
should
like that.
sell it. I don't know who's gonna buy it. but-
It's
I go,
funny.
does anyone want to lay next to my sister?
Yo, if you're in the top tier of the Patreon, DM them, okay?
We're auctioning off Dylan's plot. It's actually at a beautiful spot in Lee, Massachusetts.
but- okay,
Beautiful.
Can I, if
Or by
I,
a tree.
if I die there and you are buried there, can you ash me in there?
Yeah. You want to be laid with
What
me?
about this?
Yeah.
What
I
about
was
Chip?
always-
He can't come.
Sorry,
Chap.
I was always
You're
super,
gonna be a tree.
I was always super confused because my grandmother died when, maybe like 15 years ago. But my grandfather got remarried. So I'm like, who
First
you,
wife.
You go with the first wife
You always
always?
go with the first wife.
First wife.
It's
What
a
if you like
respect
the
issue.
second wife more?
Well, the second wife is probably going to get remarried. And if not, then she can just
A
get...
third time?
Listen, it's always...
Hey,
you
hey,
respect
hey,
your first wife.
my dad's working on number 4 right
Yeah,
now.
but she's 80. I mean,
Well, when my grandma was 80, she brought her first husband's police partner from 45 years ago, and she moved him out of the old people's home into her house.
yeah, but your grandma's rich, and
Yeah.
she's
I've
like
always
a
said,
mover and
though...
a shaker.
I've always said I wanted to be kept, like...
Kept
I want to look like this.
embalmed.
Yeah, I want to be like... I want to make it look
Wait.
like I'm, like, stuffed.
Ugh.
And, like,
Wait,
preserved.
what did Lennon do?
Yeah, but I want to be stuffed and preserved, and then I want to be sent to all of my
Taxidermied?
friends for they can each have like 2 weeks out of the year, and I have like different buttons where I could be like, "That's crazy."
Do you want your mouth to move?
Yeah, like
You're pathetic.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, we got to do our last 2 segments. Right, we're over an hour.
Oh, we got segments.
We have 2 segments.
Fun.
Oh,
The
what?
fir-
In
yeah.
my head it was. Oh yeah.
I know. It flew by. You've been fantastic.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
So our first segment is very famous,
Great.
and it's called "Do you have any questions for us?"
Oh, that's interesting. I don't off the top of my head.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm having so much
and
fun.
you don't have to.
Oh, you
I
don't have to.
Yeah, no, I don't. No.
Good.
Hey, thank you for being honest.
Thanks for being
The
honest.
vibe has been great, and I don't want to ruin it by asking a stupid question.
Well, then
Hey, there are no stupid
there are no
questions.
stupid questions. And then okay, so
You never heard mine.
That's why I wanted to open up.
well, then I guess we'll just go to our last segment, which is
again famous.
famous, and it's what the entire podcast is all about.
Okay.
Which is
If you were a gay man, would you rather have sex with me or Dylan?
Oh, wow.
And I guess let's throw in a why.
What's that?
And why?
And why? This is an interesting ontological question because if I were a gay man,
Wait,
how would
explain
things
that
in my-
word again.
It's sort of like the philosophical study of being, right?
Yeah.
and I knew that.
So
me too.
if I were a gay man,
You have to look inside yourself and figure out what kind of gay man you would be.
define sex.
From me, it's penetration.
Interesting.
And for me, it can be blowjobs.
No,
just
that's
jerking.
not the question. The question is sex. He
Yeah, but
doesn't-
I mean, he's saying penetrate, and I'm saying blowjobs,
Yeah.
jerking off, and I top.
But I always.
But what
yeah,
I'll
and
tell you,
mine
I
is,
think the
I'll
difference.
blow you, then you'll put me face down and.
I think the
finish
difference
me
is
off.
if you were going to have actual penetrative sex, Dylan would want it to be more like connecting, and Colton would be more
Right.
like one night standing.
Right, Colton's just fucking banging me out.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. You're
Okay.
banging me out.
I'm banging you. Oh,
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it. Well, see, this is because. So let me answer it as me first. Like, let's just
I thought you
say,
were saying
like,
And then we'll do it as Jimmy.
well, because okay, in this let me just separate it, and this might be way too long of an answer already. So there's me, and then there's gay me,
Right.
Yeah.
right? So me as a, it would be hard because I've like not gotten hard like having sex with women. Because I'm too nervous, so I can't imagine how bad it would be in this type of thing. Just be behind you and be like, "Oh fuck, I'm so sorry." Oh shit. Oh, this doesn't happen to me. I'm so sorry.
This is just like me at Chuck E. Cheese.
fuck. I'm so stupid.
I will also let me throw out there. I believe that happening is something that happens much larger with straight men and women. I think that's a more of a heterosexual problem.
Yes.
Because with men, there's a lot less pressure because everybody knows the game. So I think that
Right.
doesn't happen as often.
Okay. So
And I'll blow you till you're hard.
this
We'll
will be
get
a
to work.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, you know, I think this is probably the best. If I were gay, it would probably be you because
Wow.
you and me are a little too similar, and I feel like it would be a little bit masturbatory. I feel like it would be weird. Can I say that?
Yeah.
I feel like you and me, we have kind of similar facial structures, mustache. I used to have a mullet. We both have similar builds. You're different enough.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean?
Okay, it is different.
Yeah, he would hate. Would you think that we'd get accused of being twin boyfriends?
Oh, is that a thing? Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
it happens all the time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because you do look quite like my cousin, so
Yeah.
I get
There's
there
a
is-
family sort
Yeah.
of thing there. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
actually like great answer and a great why. Usually the why is where our feelings really get hurt.
But
so
mostly
that
just-
didn't happen today.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
No one's feelings got
I
hurt.
think that
someone's
means it
got
was a
hurt.
good answer.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Great.
thank you so much for
You want to
This
plug
was
anything?
one of the most pleasant experiences I've ever had on a podcast.
Oh, we
This is
love to
great.
hear
This
that.
is a lovely podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to plug the solo works of Michael McDonald.
Okay.
He was Steely Dan, right?
Okay.
And he has a solo album called If That's What It Takes. I think it was released in the 80s, and you should check that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard who's the white guy from the 80s who does all the karate movies?
Chuck Norris?
Chuck
No.
Norris.
The
Oh,
guy
no.
who's like not that
Oh,
role.
Van Damme.
No, the guy who's like not respected at all.
Oh, Steven
Seagal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you heard his reggae album?
Yes, dude.
Good?
It's so funny. Yeah, he does a Jamaican accent.
Well-
It's like guan guan when you come around town. It's amazing.
So Crystal Palace is what you're talking about.
Thank you.
The funny thing about that, and not to correct you because he does do reggae on the album spans genres. There are songs of almost every genre, and people will hate me for saying this. If you can find this, there's a good song on there. Okay? Hear me out.
Which one?
I'll play it for you after. There's a good song on there.
Okay.
There's a song you listen to and you go, this he had something.
Okay, Steve.
I've been playing reggae for like 37 years.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Thank you for
are
having me.
fantastic.
This is great.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Bye.
coming on.
Oh,
Wait,
guys.
you guys come see me in Minneapolis the 27th, 28th. I'm
And-
doing a full week in there.
And follow us online. Follow us at Some of This Is Bad. If you're listening to this, subscribe to our YouTube. Even if you just do it on the Spotify, the YouTube numbers really do help. And then also
Hey, join the fucking Patreon, huh?
and join the fucking
Join the
Patreon!
Hey, how about you give these people some goddamn money? They're entertaining you. They're working hard. All right. This is a small operation here, but it's good to support things like supporting a local business and supporting this podcast. Join their goddamn It's $5. All right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. That's what we're talking about.
So, this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is bad. Some of this is
To drag out horse.